Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Heather and I'm with Rafferty Refined Designs. And on this channel, we do things like furniture makeovers and home decor DIYs. If that's something that you like, go ahead and click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. Today we'll be doing a furniture makeover. We're going to be painting a side table. This is a very easy, simple furniture DIY. So if you're new and getting familiar with chalk paint and painting furniture, this video is perfect for you. If you'll be following along with this furniture makeover today, I have all of the products listed down below in the description box. So go ahead and give that a peek. And with all this said, let's go ahead and get painting. Something that's very important to do before you start painting any piece of furniture is to clean it. Any degreaser is fine. You can use TSP, White Lightning. I'm using Awesome. It is a cleaner that I got at the dollar store. It works so good for lifting up all that grease that's usually found on old furniture like this one. I was going to paint the drawer with the knob in, but as I was cleaning, I noticed that it actually has this imprint around the knob. So I'm going to have to address that with some sandpaper a little later. Now that the piece is completely clean and dry, I'm going to go in and give it a scuff sand. So I'm taking my sandpaper. This one is a 120, but you can use a 220. And I'm going to be putting firm pressure on and giving it scuffs. Now we're not sanding it down to the bare wood. We just want to roughen up the surface a little bit. By removing all the dirt and then giving it a scuff sand, it's going to help your paint not only stick better, but it's going to help it look better too. If you're someone who experiences a lot of buildup around your edges, giving it a nice sand along that edge like this, that's going to help prevent the buildup along the edges. You don't have to go too hard or too long, but just enough to work it in a little bit, and then that'll help you lay on your paint a lot smoother without any buildup. Sanding down the imprint didn't go quite as planned. When this happens, all you need to do is use a filler. Because it's so shallow, I just used my fingers. If there was anything deeper than that, I would have grabbed a tool, but we'll just let this dry and give it a sand. It's so important to wipe down the debris after you get done with your sanding. The reason for that is all that little dust can actually interfere with your paint color. So if you don't get all the dust off and then you go in and start painting, it might actually change the color of your paint. It's going to prevent a lot of backtracking, giving it that one last wipe down before you get painting. I'll be using Dixie Belle's Vintage Duck Egg today. With any chalk paint, just make sure to give it a quick stir before you get started. If you're someone with back problems like myself, what I find helpful is to flip the furniture upside down when it's small like this. That way I'm easily painting those furniture legs without having to bend down and twist my body. It's such a lifesaver. Before dipping into that paint, make sure to mist your paintbrush and also the surfaces that you're going to be painting. Start out with a small amount of paint and adjust as you go. And remember to use your water with your paint. You don't want it to be too heavily saturated, but the water does help move the chalk paint around. You're going to see an example later on, so stay tuned. I had forgotten to mist the top of the piece here, and oof, not good. I wanted to address paint drips with you guys. So these kind of drips right here are specifically from the water mixing with the chalk paint on the surface. So that's something that is going to be combined as soon as I swipe my brush across and blend in the paint. So not to worry. It's after you get done painting a section. If you were to look back and you see that your paint is dripping, you're using a little too much paint. So back off a little bit on the amount and see how that works on the next section and adjust from there. Remember, we don't need to paint the whole thing in a thick coat the first try. We can apply a couple coats and it'll work out much better. I am so glad I got this on camera. So I had forgotten to spray the piece with water before applying the paint, and here's a replay. Do you see how that paint just stopped halfway and it didn't carry across? Now I sprayed with water, dipped my paintbrush the exact same amount of paint, and look at that difference. The paint just carries across from one side to the other beautifully. When using a handheld paintbrush like this one, you have to paint the tabletops in sections. So some might wonder if you can still see those sections after it's dried. And the answer is because most chalk paints are self-leveling. That means that it levels out and blends in as it's drying. So your finished project will look seamless. I'm going to paint our little wooden knob here in some Waverly black chalk paint. So you can do it this super technical way like I am of holding it and getting paint all over your fingers, or you can put the screw in and prop it up on some cardboard and paint it that way. While I was painting this beautiful side table, I just love the way that it's turning out. My wheels got spinning and I thought of something really cute to add to the sides of the drawers. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Sometimes it can be a little challenging to wait for paint to dry fully before applying the second coat. For our tabletops especially, we want to give it at least an hour, maybe more, just so everything can dry. Else we're going to experience a bunch of peeling and lifting, and we don't want that. So we're going to let this all take a breather and come back in a couple hours. With the second coat, I do use more water to paint with versus the first. The reason is because the surface has changed to be more chalky and porous, and so it's a little harder for me to get that paint to go a longer amounts and make it look even. So using more water the second time helps to create that even and smooth finish. So while the second coat is drying, let's do the drawer sides. Originally, I had thought of a furniture transfer to put on the sides of the drawers. However, I feel like I've done a furniture transfer quite a few times on this channel, so I thought of something different. We're going to be applying some decor stamps on the sides of the drawers. Using these, if you haven't already, is really simple. And the best part is you just rinse them off and you can put them back, on the plastic and you're good to go. Get a lot of bang for your buck, and it is linked below. Because I'll be applying these stamps with chalk paint, I find it helpful to use a foam roller for that. So I just poured, I think a little too much paint to be honest, but I poured some paint out on a little plate and just used the roller. We're going to set it aside and pick out our flowers. Something that I enjoy about these stamps is that they come in a variety of different sizes. So it makes it really easy to work with whatever piece of furniture that you have, and you can create your own custom look. So like I said, furniture stamping is not hard to do. Basically, you're rolling the ink on there or the paint, whichever you're using, align it up and press down. And make sure to pull straight up so it doesn't get all smudgy, and you're good to go. One of the beautiful things I love about stamps is that it's not supposed to be 100% even. It's supposed to have this kind of, not patchy, but almost a weathered look to it. So it creates a very unique style, and you're in control with the type of theme that you're going for with your furniture piece. The top coat of choice today is going to be some furniture wax. I really feel that chalk paint and wax are like peanut butter and jelly. They just go so well together. There's always a question on which one is more durable, a polyurethane top coat or a furniture wax top coat. I'm going to insert a picture right here. This was one of the very first tables I did when I moved into this house, and I sealed it with the bare wax. I put wet drinks on this thing all the time and it doesn't destroy it, and it doesn't leave rings or anything like that. That's my chair and my little table. And so when I sit there, I'm thinking, oh man, I really need to incorporate this in a video one of these days. And so I figured, because it's a side table, this will be a perfect opportunity. So let's get to applying this furniture wax. I'm going to take a lint-free cloth. This is actually a t-shirt sleeve that's been washed quite a few times, so it's that perfect material. So we're just taking a little scoop out and blending it in to the paint. So it's like you are moisturizing your furniture piece, basically. It's really easy not to lose track on where you haven't applied it because you can see the contrast in the paint. So once you're done applying everything in circular motions, what I like to do is just give it a few swipes across and blend it all out so it's nice and seamless. I really hope that you enjoyed today's makeover. I know I did. It turned out adorable. If you have any questions or comments regarding the makeover or the products used, be sure to subscribe first if you're not already. That way I get notified when you do leave me comments. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you next Monday. Bye, guys. Oh, spider eggs. I hate spider eggs. So just gonna let this take a, as I touch it. Ah!